The first questions you're asking yourself, easily Googleable, as people don't even want to talk about how I can get to 5 million. It's changing your belief level. If people are just a follower and they see a couple of videos, they don't really know who Chase Gallagher is. And
Hello, it's Shanique here, helping you new and inspiring entrepreneurs grow your business from the inside out. Whether you are a young entrepreneur or a parent of a business-minded kid or someone who wants to start a home service business, this conversation is going to really expand you in so many ways. This 24-year-old entrepreneur built a $2 million powerhouse business from a side hustle at the age of 14 and now owned CMG Landscaping. Chase and I met in Las Vegas. I kind of got him lost, but we all figured it out. We had an impromptu food tour, amazing food, and we actually recorded one of my highest videos on TikTok. So definitely check the link down below and check out that video. Chase, why don't you talk a little bit more about you and your journey with us? Thank you.
Shanique, thank you for having me on. Yes, we had a great time in Vegas. Trying to find a slice of pizza, I think it was. But I'm Chase Gallagher. Like you said, I'm 24 years old. I started my company when I was 13, 14 years old. I'm located in the Philadelphia suburbs. I own a design and build where we do anything from patios, retaining walls, planting projects, stormwater management, landscape lighting.
Ah, sweet. So you did mention that you started your business at 13, 14, but at 16 years old, you convinced your parents to homeschool you. What conversation, what revelation made you realize that this was the path to go?
Yeah, really. It was really just I was hungry. I was a hungry young person and I wanted to just work. I disliked school tremendously. I disliked the entire system. Somehow I found out that my school was doing online high school. I put two and two together. This could provide me more freedom for XYZ. 15 days before my 11th grade year of high school, I had my license. And then within that time period, I convinced my mom to do this online high school. And it was probably one of the best decisions I made. It was three best decisions: that, not going to college, and doing project-based landscaping.
What would you say are some of your daily habits that you put into practice while you were a teenager that has helped you now as a young adult in business?
Great question. I would say a lot of my daily habits back then, middle school, high school, I was always educating myself, whether it was a topic of the education that I needed right then and there or not, right? So I was watching guys like Gary Vee when I was very young. I was watching Keith Kelfis, Geek to Freak. Shout out to those guys. Those guys both own landscaping companies. And while I'm working or not, I was always educating myself, reading books and stuff like that. And at the time, a lot of the stuff I'd be listening to had zero instant action items I could take from it and implement. And a lot of the stuff I would listen to on these videos and reading these books, I had no idea what it was, to be honest with you. But I just kept going with it. And then at 18, 19, 20, 24, then it becomes, oh, I remember that. And then boom, that involves getting around like-minded people or growth-minded people a couple steps ahead of you.
I 100% relate. I started my personal development journey at 22 years old, and my first book was Think and Grow Rich. And I was just like, I never done the thing yet. I had to trust that these individuals that had the success, seen the success, you even mentioned two landscaping professionals that do what you want. And if it worked out for them, you just have to trust the process. And eventually, as you actually do the work, you're like, oh, that's what he meant. Oh, that's what that meant. That's what it meant. The setbacks, I get it. You may not understand it or get it now, but as you do the thing, it starts to be like, I'm the person. I'm that guy. I'm that girl now that I used to read about, and that's really profound. You mentioned mentors, and you yourself have become a mentor. How do you feel like your responsibility from learning from their people and now you're teaching?
I really enjoy helping others grow. So it's kind of hard to describe, but it's just something like a student calling me, having a question about how to price this job. We price it right. We type it up right. And literally within 20 minutes, they land the deal. And like that, we do that for all of them, and it changes these people's lives is what we're doing. Like it's really impactful on a whole other level than like money or any of that kind of stuff. So it also, puts you in a lane, right? It doesn't allow you an excuse not to do something. If I'm telling my students, hey guys, post on Instagram, post on social media, follow up like this, I can't not, do what I'm preaching. So it keeps you in your lane.
You'll never be able to scale your business without professional quotes and collecting payments. And this home service software is perfect for you on the go or in office, being able to do invoicing, booking, scheduling, marketing, and so much more. And you can try Jobber completely free. Just check my exclusive link down in the description box down below. Okay, I feel you. As the mentor, and you yourself developing yourself, what do you impart in your students in regarding to their mental to get to the next level outside of doing these things?
This is a great question, and I've just came to conclusions on a lot of this. Getting to the next level is 10% knowing the formula of how to price your jobs or how to market. A lot of it is the energy. And so here's how I explain it. I'll go to dinner with a buddy of mine that owns a $35 million company per year. And we'll go to the dinners and we'll sit there all the time and just chat. And there's a group of us and we're chatting. And he doesn't tell me, Chase, you do this and this is how you're going to go there. It's strictly the energy transfer. It's very weird. So it's almost like for me to talk about how I can get to 5 million, my buddy Luke would be like, yeah, dude, just do this. Like it's like that belief level. It's changing your belief level. It's adjusting, saying like, I 100% do this. You know what I mean? And just going and doing the actions. Same thing with my other buddy that owns a $400 million company. And I'll go to dinners, I'll go to their house. We hang out, and it's less about like an actual piece of information they're giving me. And it's more about the time next to each other and that energy, which is raising my belief level. Well, if Luke can do it, why can't I? If Cecil can do it, why can't I? With my mentees, it's like when these calls and they're like, I don't know if I could send this bid for $25,000. And I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm sending it at $38,000. They're in different phases in their business where I've been there. And they're like, oh, I don't know. But then they do it and it happens. And then it's just like, oh, wow. Then they start building momentum. So
I hope everyone is following that and getting it. And I want to be able to maybe summarize or even take from experience so many things from that. It's so true. One being, when you're talking to someone who is even a one step ahead of you, they've experienced it and they've most likely gone through the mental block that you probably experienced. So their ability to send a quote that is 10x what you're used to is normal to them. Being around someone who has normalized what you think is scary is going to shift your mindset. And that understanding is something that I recently understood. I grew my cleaning business. I remember being in bed and I'm like, wow, I just made $3,000 in profit just being in my bed. And that just shook me. That wasn't normal to me. And something within me said, that's what you need to fix, because there's no point of making $30,000 in Aruba if you can't even stand and accept that. So I stepped back, and the reason why this interview has really come to life is I want that to be showcased and understood. Chase, you could hire him as coach and he's going to give you all the steps, but what he can't do, he can't convince you to take action. He can only be the example. That's why you work with people that done the damn thing, because it's normal to them. Let me know if we understood each other there and if I made sense for you.
100%. And that's another key point you just made, Shanique, is action is driven by the individuals. At the end of the day, that person has to put in the work, and the results are represented by that person's actions. Yeah, 100% agree.
There's always back end that most people are not exposed to. By all means, it's going to attract the masses when you see 10K months, $50,000 months, 100K months. You built a $1 million business. Not everyone shares how much you had to invest to see that grow. I want to know what sacrifices in your business would be very surprising for someone to hear, that they need to hear to know if you want to build a $2 million company. These are some things that you're going to, I don't like using the word sacrifice, but exchange to get here.
Well, there's many. There's trips that you say no to. There's family time you say no to. There's maybe, friends and family stuff that you exit out of and say, hey guys, unfortunately, I have to get this project wrapped up today and I cannot make that. I mean, that just happened to me this week. There's a lot of investment risk. There's, mental stability, right? Whenever you're dealing with people, it's less about me just buying a truck and signing on the dotted line. I now have to deal with real human beings that have feedback and, have issues with this person and that person, and you're managing teams, dealing with unique clients, to say the least, as far as like unhappy clients or just wacko people. Unfortunately, we all have them. So there's all sorts of sacrifices.
Chase, how maybe now, since you've been in business for a while, you've seen the success and you've seen the rewards to it, how do you determine that making this decision will help in the long term?
Sometimes you don't even know though. So like a lot of times in business, you're making sacrifices that you just have to get done what needs to get done, right? The buck stops at you, the business owner. So whether that's going on site, dealing with the pain in the ass client, right? On Saturday, going to go deal with some other clients and wrap up a couple projects, whatever it is. A lot of times you're not going to necessarily see the benefit to the sacrifice you're making today. But on year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in your business, it's like one of these types of graphs where the first 5 years, it's very, very tough. It's very, very tough. But on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, the money you start making, the team, the reputation is like a compounded effect. And it almost becomes so easy that you almost get a little bit bored. But when that happens, that's when you really want to push down on the gas. You might not in business, especially small business, you might go do something, right? Hiring a team member or making this paid advertising investment. And you might be sitting there like, I don't see the ROI. I can't do the math on this piece of paper, visually see how I'm going to make my money back. But a lot of times, sometimes those investments are the best investments you make. Now, I'm not telling you to go gamble your money on Google Ads. You really just got to believe in yourself because that's how it's going to move forward.
How do you mentally go through decision, not really knowing 100%? And I think I'm asking that because I'm an entrepreneur. So there are certain times, like I agree, you're just not going to know.
That person has to go see it. They have to put their head down and what we would say in America, eat shit and just keep going at it. You almost have to have, like, human beings, Shanique, are built just like both of us to say, I'm going to invest $100 in 2 years. Am I going to have 120 back or 140 back? But in small business, especially in the beginning, you actually have to not do the math. You have to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and what comes, what comes. And I'm saying is year 0 to 5, there's going to be not that much ROI, but 5 to 10 is when it's all going to just come flowing right in.
You got to trust someone who has a $2 million business. So I'm not even going to push you on that one. What do you believe is the most underrated quality or skill that young entrepreneurs should be developing right now?
Young entrepreneurs have the more social media, the software things, that kind of stuff. What they should be developing is what the old guy has. When I was 18, 17, 19, 20, I'd be like, why is that old guy so short with his speech and it looks you in your eyes and growls at you and it's like an asshole, right? And I'm not telling young people to be assholes, but what I am telling you is if you can merge the two with all these strengths you have, plus being very strong-willed, basically, right? Because a lot of times young people in business with employees, with clients, they might get taken advantage of. And the old guy isn't because he's very straightforward. He's like, if client, employee, banker, accountant, whoever you are I'm talking to, this is how I want it done, or this is how I'm going to do it. If this doesn't work for you, next. So young people, if you can build a strong internal voice and mindset, I think that would take you very far, right? What's a real life example of that? That is, hey, if this person, you just hired your first 5 employees and 2 of them are cancerous or toxic or maybe say things to you that make your head turn. What did you just say to me? Those people you need to fire. It's tough, but once you start doing that, you become way better of an entrepreneur.
Take note. If you were to go back and whisper one piece of advice to your younger self the first day, what would that be?
Get into project-based landscaping sooner. I wish I would have skipped the lawn mowing and just done project-based landscaping a lot sooner, but here we are. You live and learn.
That being said, if you want to start a landscaping business or you have one, Chase, how does someone get a hold of you or learn more about you and what you do?
They can go to my Instagram page, Chase_Gallagher, or you can go to my coaching platform's Instagram page, Service Pro Elite. Check it out. You can fill out your information in the link in the description, and my team will be in touch.
Thank you so much, Chase, and thank you guys for watching. If you want to know more about Chase or I, then be sure to check the description box down below, and you can check out some of these videos here on screen to learn more about entrepreneurship mindset on my channel as well.
Me.